We'll be joining in a couple of minutes. We'll be starting.
Yeah, good morning, Sunita, and good morning, Akshay.
Good morning, everyone.
Okay, Anamika, I think you can start.
Good morning to one and all present here. 2 years back, the world was pushed into an unprecedented crisis, toppling everything that we considered normal. Ever since then, our lives have not been the same, both internally as well as externally. In trying times like these, mental health has come to focus like never before, and rightfully so. Amongst the people most affected by the new normal, students took the largest brunt when their effervescent years started passing by in the form of Zoom and Gmail sessions. In such a scenario, it became increasingly necessary to provide a platform for the students to speak up about their mental health. Thus, it's not a coincidence that this summit is being held today on World Mental Health Awareness Day. This summit took shape from a conviction that if IITs could come together to promote arts and sports, they could join hands to promote wellness as well. The purpose of this summit is to foster collaboration amongst the student wellness cells of different IITs, namely Bombay, Delhi, Guwahati, Kharagpur, Kanpur, and IIT Madras. Through this session, we seek to imbibe valuable lessons from each other's milestones and mistakes so as to ensure a higher degree of wellness for our student community in the coming future. On this note, I would like to extend a warm welcome to all those present on behalf of the entire Saathi team of IIT Madras. We appreciate you taking time off your busy schedules to join us here today. My name is Anamika and I'll be a host for this program. To kickstart this summit, I would like to call upon Mr. Nilesh Vasa, Dean of Students, IIT Madras, to deliver the inaugural address.
Okay. Thank you very much, Anamika, for introducing me. Good morning to everyone, and welcome to Pan IIT Wellness Summit. In the last couple of decades, the society has experienced many changes concerning social practices and our lifestyle. We all are surrounded by different types of challenges concerning academic ambitions, related job opportunities, interpersonal and intrapersonal interactions, increase in competitions at different levels, and above all, anxiety about future. We are also facing a new challenge as well as many other difficult situations emerging due to the ongoing COVID pandemic. Living in a pandemic for over 18 months, as Anamika mentioned, has made us to declutter emotionally, and something we would like to gain back, nothing but the normalcy. All of us are experiencing considerable changes in our daily lives. Many of us are trying to adapt the situation and move forward with a positive note. However, it is essential to recognize and manage the stressful feelings and apprehension, which can lead to some form of a mental illness. As our society has not experienced such issues before, it may take some time, and it is taking some time to understand and discuss about what really needs to be done to make mental health care a reality for people around us. We need to recognize the need to scale up quality mental health services at all levels. Today, all of you have come together to celebrate the World Mental Health Day in form of a Pan IIT Wellness Summit. It will certainly help sensitizing all of us towards awareness of mental health issues around us and to mobilize efforts in support of mental health and emotional balance. I think it is very appropriate step forward towards understanding various approaches to take care of the issues related to mental health and mental well-being in academic and research environment concerning all of us, students and teachers. we hope that this summit will be very useful to all of us to find good practices towards building a mental health resilience via sharing suggestions, ideas, and strengthening future collaborative efforts. So I congratulate the team of Pan IIT Wellness Summit, the organizing team of Pan IIT Wellness Summit, for thinking about this particular approach event on this day and going forward. We are looking forward to come together, discuss and go forward in sharing our views today as well as in future. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your welcoming speech, sir. Next, I would like to invite Professor Sunetra Sarkar, Faculty Advisor of Saathi, to address the summit.
Right, yeah. Thank you, Anamika, and good morning to all. So it is indeed a great beginning, and it is my pleasure and also my privilege to meet you all, to welcome you all the representatives from the older IITs at this collaborative platform on behalf of Saathi IIT Madras. So Saathi is an integral part and one of the important components of IIT Madras's wellness structure. It is a proactive student body to look after the overall well-being of the student community through round-the-year activities. We also have Mitra, which is more of a reactive body which intervenes when things are not going perfect or go sideways. And at the center of our wellness structure is our wellness center, which is made up of and is run by qualified professionals. So we anyway have representations from all these components today, and they will be talking about their activities and their roles in the overall scheme of things. So I will give the floor to them now, and we are anyway on a very tight schedule today, so I will not take more time to discuss this. Just a couple of points to stress on what Professor Vasa already said. Number one is the pandemic has given us a very unique opportunity where we can bring faraway people closer and cooperate on a larger scale. And physical distance is irrelevant now. So please make use of this opportunity to expand your collaboration and make it a new normal for the future. Okay, even when we come out of this situation. And secondly, we should remember, the significance of today. So the more we discuss on today's theme, the more we talk to each other, the collaborate, create events, we are actually, bringing this somewhat taboo topic more out in the open, which is very important, very, very crucial. So all the very best to your future collaborations, and hope it brings, radically new ideas, because you are now, coming together. So I don't know, I don't mind if beside talking and, learning from each other, you also compete and you also fight. You are actually, helping to bring this very important subject more and more out in the open and normalizing it with the help of each other. So ultimately, it's going to be beneficial for, all the students and, eventually for all of us, for the society. So, thank you for inviting me to be present for this, and, all the very best for the future. So I leave the floor open to, start your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I call upon the representatives of Saathi IIT Madras to talk about their student body.
Hello, good morning, everyone. So I take this minute to thank Professor Vasa and Professor Sunetra for giving their insights about the summit, and the directives and ideas that they presented right now are really guiding milestones for us about how we could move about with this summit and even in some sort of collaborations in the long term. So right now I would be describing about the wellness structure at IIT Madras. So the wellness structure at IIT Madras rests primarily upon three pillars, as Sunetra ma'am described. First pillar is the wellness center, which consists of professionals. Second pillar is Saathi, which is the proactive front. And the third pillar is Mitra, which is the reactive front. So we have representatives present from each of these organizations, myself and Akshat from Saathi. Ansari Osama Kaur from Mitra, and Preeti ma'am from the Wellness Center. So I'll just share my screen for the presentation. Could someone kindly confirm if it is visible?
It's visible, Ishan.
Thank you. So I'll just start with Saathi. So Saathi is the proactive student wellness cell of IITM. We primarily focus upon two important aspects. We are a body under the SGS, that is the Student's General Secretary, and we report directly to him. Saathi addresses primarily two aspects. The first being student well-being. We strive to improve the overall well-being of the student community. And we also try to engage students into wellness activities. As Sunetra ma'am said, instead of wellness being a taboo topic, which is spoken in hushed voices, we wish to bring it out in the upfront before everyone and make everyone acknowledge that mental health is not a taboo topic. And it is an important thing that everyone needs to consciously acknowledge and strive towards. So we play a more proactive role by continuously engaging the student community through different events, workshops, summits, or even through social media engagement. So I'll briefly tell about the team structure of Saathi. So the Saathi top hierarchy consists of course and strategists, which is followed by a layer of super coordinators. So at Saathi, we have 4 verticals, and there is 1 or 2 super coordinators for each vertical. And each super coordinator basically has a set of coordinators working under them who are generally second-year undergraduate students. And this is the overall structure of Saathi. So I'll be moving to the verticals of Saathi now. So we have 4 verticals at Saathi, which are designed to address specific functionalities in the Saathi team. So the first one is events and operations. The main function of events and operations is to ideate different events, to contact guests and lecturers for these particular events and figuring out all the logistics. The second team is design and creativity. This deals primarily with designing creatives and promotion material for our different events. The third team is publicity and outreach, which controls all our social media handles and publicity contact points. And the fourth vertical is the student mentorship cell, which is responsible for managing the undergraduate as well as the postgraduate mentorship programs. So I'll be going into details about various activities carried out by Saathi over the calendar. This is the basic idea about different verticals. So I'll start with the student mentorship cell and the student mentorship program. So the UG mentorship program is a flagship event of Saathi, and it has been a highly successful event. So the program consists of assigning a Saathi mentor to each and every undergraduate student who takes admission into IIT Madras. So generally 4 or 5 students are given one mentor from their respective departments, and the mentor is responsible for guiding them throughout the year regarding various academic aspects or non-academic aspects or any aspects that that students might face problems in as they're new to the campus, and they try to ensure a smooth transition into college life. It consists of these various steps, which is recruitment, allotment, and feedback. Also, we have introduced department heads for each of the departments like CS, mechanical, electrical, so that there is some hierarchy and ease of management of mentors. We also reward the star mentors. So we periodically collect feedback from mentees regarding how their mentor is functioning and whether he or she is providing them useful feedback. And according to that, we select around 16 to 20 star mentors, and we congratulate and reward them for their performance and try to promote being a responsible mentor through this activity. This year, we have also launched the PG mentorship program. So this is the first year of the PG mentorship program. And it was highly essential as postgraduate students, as compared to the BTech students, have just 2 years at the campus. And they have a lot of host of many activities that they have to carry out. And their career is also at a crucial point. This is why we felt that there was a dire need of introducing a mentorship program for the PG first years as well. So the main aim is to make the PG students feel at home and help them make the most of their 2 years at IITM. Also, there is this phase of grooming mentors wherein we take sessions and sensitization sessions to equip the mentors with necessary tools in order to help them to mentor their mentees properly. And we also ensure that the mentors give proper career advice, which is very essential for the PG students. So I'll just go to briefly describe different activities carried out by Saathi till now, the highlight activities. So the first one is Pride Week celebration. As we know, the Pride Week is an important event towards striving towards an inclusive campus. So there was a host of activities that we conducted in this regard. The first one was inviting the team of Sheer Korma. Sheer Korma is a film that addresses issues of the LGBT community. And we had a discussion with them, a friendly discussion with them, in which they gave various insights about the problems about the LGBT community and how we can be more inclusive with them. There was also a Pan IIT panel discussion that we organized, wherein different communities from different IITs participated. A similar thing to what we are doing right now. And the third was the Rainbow Rave contest, in which we invited different art forms like creative arts, writing, etc., and asked them to create some creative content upon related to the Pride Week. The next event was Wellness Fun Day. So Wellness Fun Day is a year-long social media engagement event wherein we periodically put advice related to mental health or mental well-being or good practices regarding mental health. And in this way, we try to engage our social media community as well as give them some important and insightful content regarding wellness. The third is the internship season talk. So as we all know, for the third year undergraduates, the internship season is a decisive moment wherein all of them try to get good internships and embark upon their career journeys. However, it is also associated with a large amount of stress as naturally, as it is a decisive point, students are generally stressed and there is a lot of competition. So to deal with this, we had organized a talk by Mrs. Madhumita Shriram from the Wellness Center. And it was titled as Developing an Unconventional Success Mindset, wherein Mrs. Madhumita gave nice insights about how we could inculcate an unconventional success mindset, wherein instead of taking stress, we regard the internship season as a challenge and strive towards giving our best to it. The next event was Intra-City Meets. So this was actually an initiative under the Students' General Secretary, wherein the current 2020 batch, right? They had never come on campus and they had never interacted with their peers. So this was an event to facilitate that interaction in the nodal cities of India. And we had students from particular cities gather together, and it was done following all the COVID safety protocols. And they engaged in several activities like treasure hunts and fun events. And we also gave prizes to the best performers. The next event is art therapy sessions. So this is the most recent events conducted by Saathi in the Mental Illness Awareness Week from 3rd to 9th October, wherein we invited therapy professionals from singing, art, yoga to relieve the students of their stress and give them insights in how these different art forms can actually help you relieve stress and promote wellness. So I'll just briefly state our upcoming activities for the year. The first one is Random Acts of Kindness Week. So Random Acts of Kindness is actually an MIT initiative wherein students are encouraged to do random acts of kindness over 1 week. That could be greeting your professor, spending time with your friends and family, anything which actually you do as a good thing towards the society and towards yourself as well. The next event is the Institute Immersion Program. So as we know, the freshers will be inducted into the campuses soon. And the Institute Immersion Program is a comprehensive event planned by Saathi and the Wellness Center, which involves welcoming the freshers to the campus, equipping them with necessary tools and mental health guidelines regarding campus life, and also introducing them to different clubs and societies present at IIT. The third plan is professor interviews, wherein we want to bridge the gap between professors and students. And professors will narrate their life experiences and how they overcame challenges in their professional life. Next, I'll be moving on to the Wellness Center, which is the in-house professional wing of IIT Madras. The Wellness Center is a body of licensed mental health professionals, and we have 3 licensed clinical psychologists and a counselor. Students can walk in anytime to discuss their concerns with the professionals, and the Wellness Center is functioning efficiently in the online mode as well. The Wellness Center primarily works for nourishment of positive mental health on campus, and it also provides individual counseling and therapy to students. Apart from this primary function, right, Wellness Center performs a host of other activities. So the Wellness Center conducts training for the peer counselors or the Mitra students, which I'll be coming to in a short while. They also conduct workshops and mental health sensitizations for the Saathi team as well as the pool of student mentors. So whenever we recruit the Saathi team or whenever we recruit the student mentors, they need to be sensitized appropriately regarding mental health so that they can address different issues or problems that they come across in the field of wellness in a mature and correct manner. There are several other activities that the Wellness Center carries out. One of them is Mann Meet. So the Mann Meet is where the Wellness Center organizes peer support group meetings. So a group of students can register and get together and share their experience associated with self-improvement or how they overcame personal circumstance, so that they can interact and learn and feel together in the journey of overcoming hardships. The second is wellness orientation. So this is about the induction of freshers that I talked about. So whenever freshers come to the campus, there is a wellness orientation wherein we try to equip the freshers with all guidelines regarding mental wellness and explain to them the wellness structure at IIT. The third event is Margadarshak. So the Margadarshak is basically a career guidance program wherein students who are uncertain about their careers or simply wish to gain some more insights about their careers of interest are connected to a relevant alumni through the Wellness Center. And the fourth and important part is surveys. To carry out effective activities in any campus, the Wellness Center conducts surveys to get to know about what are the primary issues faced by students. So such surveys are conducted thrice a year, and they try to pinpoint specific themes to be addressed at the wellness front. Next, I'll be moving to Mitra. So Mitra is the third pillar, and it is basically the reactive part of regarding wellness. So Mitra consists of student Mitra volunteers who are basically peer counselors, and they can reach out to students who are in distress. So the objective of Mitra is to be there for each and every student who might be facing any sort of curriculum or academic related issues. So their motto is to not leave the distress of any student unattended on the campus. And so the meaning of the word Mitra, right? It means someone who listens to you and who you can share things with. So that is the job done by the student counselors. It acts as a bridge between the student community and the Wellness Center. So the Wellness Center consists of certified professionals, but the Mitra team acts as a bridge between the students and Wellness Center by acting as peer counselors. They also do the critical job of identifying students who may need help of any kind, academic, psychological, because whenever a student is in distress, he or she gives signals to his or her friends and family. And through this, it is very crucial to identify students in distress at the right time so that they can be given with the requisite kind of help. So I'll just go briefly over the different sessions conducted by Mitra. So the first one is Barefoot counseling training sessions, which are specifically for the Mitra volunteers who volunteer to be peer counselors. So it is a 3-part mandatory training session. So wherein they teach about how to be a Mitra volunteer. They give training about mental health aspects, and they also are trained about how to deal with common psychological problems and coping mechanisms. So the Wellness Center conducts this counseling training sessions for the student counselors who wish to be a part of Mitra. This is about the students' mental health survey that Mitra and Wellness Center conducted together. So this is to understand the issues faced by students during the pandemic, and it received a total of 218 responses. And the numbers below are pretty encouraging, wherein 24 students connected with Mitra coordinators to seek help, and 139 students were directed to wellness team and YORTOS for seeking professional help, which I think is a very big step in making the correct amount of help reach to students who need help or are in distress. This was a session on mental health initiative. So based on the survey, several themed sessions were conducted. So these are the various themes that were featured in the sessions. So those were ensuring physical well-being, routine building, dealing with deficient social support and networking, and easy to use coping techniques. So all these holistically address wellness in a general sense and try to equip students with necessary tools for facing their day-to-day life challenges. This is the second set of sessions on mental health initiative. So these address another set of themes that were recognized through surveys, which is dealing with uncertainty about future, handling negative thoughts, learning to be ourselves, and handling academic stress. So I'll just give a list of different talks organized. So there were different talks organized by professionals from our wellness center, which are handling uncertainties, managing academic workload, and reinventing relationships. So this was a brief overview about the wellness structure of IITM and the different events and activities carried out by them. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, IIT Madras. Now I request the representatives of the Student Wellness Center of IIT Bombay to speak a few words about their team.
Good morning, all. I would like to thank IIT Madras for organizing this PAN Summit, which has given us chance to meet at least virtually during this pandemic. So it is a great initiative, and IIT Bombay was very happy that this is a chance we can meet the team of other IITs. So I am Hima Anna Reddy, in charge of Student Wellness Center. With me, I have Amita ma'am. She's Officer on Special Duty, and Anjali Bhatia, who is a student counselor. At IIT Bombay, like whatever was shared about IIT Madras, we also do very similar things. But today I have tried to have a presentation which is more focused on what Student Wellness Center does. So I will be presenting it. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah. So our center is known as Student Wellness Center, and it was established in 1987. So it's a long journey. It started by one counselor, Amita Tagare ma'am, who was there, and now we have a team of 10 counselors. So that is what we have. From 1 to 10, we have grown. Our structure is, we come under Dean of Student Affairs. It is known as Student Wellness Center, and we have 3 verticals. That is core counseling team. We have outreach and positive mental health program vertical, which takes care of different workshops, trainings, mentor trainings, and orientations for students in terms of having workshops like EQ 101, EQ 108. And the third vertical is a self-help website, Bandhu, which has different articles which are related to the mental health concerns of the student, about academic, about friendship, about relationship. So in this website, we have tried to cover all the concerns that the student might have, and the tips that can help them to self-help. So that is there. Then it has small quizzes, it has blogs, it has numbers where they can reach out to us in case of emergency. Our SWC team consists of myself. Then we have Anjali Bhatia, who is a social psychologist. We have Anisha Matthew, who is a clinical psychologist. We have Lavina, again, who is a clinical psychologist. We have Anjali, clinical psychologist. We have Shaukat, counseling psychologist. Tagare ma'am, who is working as an officer on special duty, who guides us. He's again a clinical psychologist. We have Shivani Manchanda, who is taking care of positive mental health, that is conducting workshops and training for the mentors. And then we have Aditi Vaje, psychometrician. So we have a psychometrician setup also, set up in Student Wellness Center. So like you see, we have professionals from different specialization, which really helps us to cater to the need of the students. Commonly cited concerns of students that we see is parental pressure is there. Like all of you know, a lot of academic pressure is there. Everybody is best and they want to continue doing best. And that creates a lot of pressure on themselves because they have not seen failure. So this is a time when they might see this failure for the first time and it really becomes difficult for them. Then illusion created by coaching classes breaks after they come to IIT because it is very different than what was described in the coaching class. The teaching style is different. Some students might have language concerns, self-expectation like I shared, it's too much. Peer pressure is there because there is continuous comparison if somebody is doing better. Then from coaching classes, now they are into an environment where they have a lot of freedom. So it can lead to different kind of addiction. Internet addiction nowadays is very common that we see in our students. Poor social skills because all this time they have been in the classes and they really don't know how to talk, what to talk. So when they come over here, they find it really difficult to make friends, have that initial social conversation, which really makes them feel lonely, upset, and they withdraw. Then self-management is an issue because too many things are happening on the campus. There is too much of academics. So what they should do, how they should do. So they struggle with that because all this time they have been guided either by parents or coaching classes. This is what you should do. This is how you should do. This is how you should manage your time. Then pressure to multitask because they again want to do many things. Many things are happening on the campus. So it's very natural at this age to get attracted to different things and try to do as many things as possible. As they come in third year, now it has started from second year, internship pressure is there. Everybody wants to get a good intern. So in turn, they would get a good placement. And the placement process, because it's very hectic in 15 days, so many companies are coming and, interviews are happening around the clock. So that also creates a lot of stress for the students. So these are the common concerns that we see students have, and we try to help them when they approach Student Wellness Center. So what does core counseling team does? We do individual counseling. Till now it was face-to-face, but from the pandemic has started, we have shifted to virtual and video calls. So students, even if they are not on campus, the counseling has continued throughout this 18 months or 2 years. There has been no time when the student has been declined from the service. From day one, we had shifted to video and virtual counseling. We do psychometric assessment whenever we feel that we need a proper diagnosis or, we need to find out what exactly is the underlying concern. Psychometric assessment is done. And it is a proper setup that has been is there in Student Wellness Center, and we coordinate with the psychiatrists at IIT Hospital. So it's a teamwork, and we help students whenever required with assessment. Then we play the role of a hub for student support structure. We feel that to help student, only Student Wellness Center cannot do anything. We also need help of different stakeholders. So it can be a faculty advisor, it can be a faculty, it can be a dean, it can be hospital, it can be mentors, it can be parents. So we try to help the student that, okay, this is the concern, this much we can work on your problem, and maybe we might require support from a particular stakeholder. So that is what is done. Then outreach. As from the time the pandemic has started, we have increased our outreach program. We have started a talk series which is known as Vartalap, where we are trying to cover different topics, different issues that the students face, and we feel that if openly topics are discussed, the student would also understand that, this is what is happening with a large group, and it is okay to talk and it is okay to help, and some tips are discussed which will be kind of self-help. So that is a new initiative that we have started, Vartalap. Then we have student mentor program like IIT Madras. We have a student mentor program for undergraduate and postgraduate. The undergraduate one is known as ISMP and the postgraduate is known as ISCP. So basically, we are involved in the selection process of the mentor coordinators. And further, when the team is ready, we train them. We train them with the basic skills that would help them to understand the problem of the student and how much they can help, because we feel that after all, mentors are also student and they can guide the student but not can do the professional cannot give the professional help that is required by the students. So we guide them that how much you can help and what are the signs that you should really look for and when you should bring the case to us or when you should, approach the faculty advisor. So that is a thorough training given to the mentor, understanding mentors are also students and they might miss on something that would be really important. And we also feel that mentors play a very crucial role because they are peers and they understand the students well. Like IIT Madras, our mentors also are there for the initial first year for the students where the student is lost or he wants to reach out to something or he wants to know more about some services. So for all these things, the mentors are there from day one. I will say right from the orientation, the student mentors are there to help the new students. Then we have also created a YouTube channel on which we are trying to share videos again related to different topic which we feel are essential and which would help the student, especially during this pandemic. Then is general mental health survey. This is done for a proactive intervention. So this is a specially designed survey. I think Tagane ma'am can speak more and then I will go ahead with this. Ma'am, you would like to talk about this?
Yes. Thank you, Hima, and thank you, IIT Madras, for arranging this summit. I wish all of you, the Dean Student Affairs, Professor Sunitra, a very, very happy World Mental Health Day, and to the entire teams of all the IITs. So just adding on a little bit to what Hima is taking forward, are two things which I would like to highlight. One is we have also started a few years back an orientation program for the parents. We have come across and seen that we have a truckload of students who join IITB due to a lot of pressure from the parents, and there are communication gaps between the parents and the students, false expectations from the parents, and a lot of guilt coming into the students due to these things. So we are making an attempt to do a parent orientation when the parents come to leave their wards, and happy to say that it has been a successful program. And along with that, we are also making a strong attempt, though we have really not succeeded, is doing faculty orientation, where we feel probably sensitizing the faculty would make a world of difference to students settling down on the campus. So having just added to that what Hima covered, I would spend just a few minutes on the general mental health survey, which has been a baby because I've been associated with IIT Bombay since 1987. Having retired 2 years back, I am working as a special officer on special duty. And this is a psychometric inventory which has been tailor-made for IITB first year, second year, and happy to say that we have completed it also for the third year students. So this has been done with a good reliability, validity, with all the statistical norms in place. And it is run on the students after they finish the mid-semester exams. And it covers a physical as well as mental well-being. We don't go beyond testing their well-being, their comfort, their adjustment, and their liking to the IITB system. And once we have the scores on this survey come in, happy to share again that we have a red zone, which I will just cover over here, where we feel that the students who fall into this red zone could be having some borderline concerns, or they have inhibitions in taking help. And that is why we term this entire program as early intervention and, as rightly put, proactive intervention. So the core counselors reach out to these students irrespective of their reaching out to us. We send them a mail, or we contact them on the phone, or we contact them through the mentor program, their respective mentors basically. And we at least have 1 or 2 sessions with them, and open doors for communication. And this entire exercise has been very, very satisfying. And we have been able to help out a number of students who could kind of resolve their issues in a month or 2 months, which could have probably gotten deep-rooted and would be a little difficult to solve, causing emotional and mental turmoil to the student. So this is one of our strengths that we are working on, and very soon we should complete this thing even for the 4th year students. So that's it from my side. Yes, Hema, you can continue.
Thank you, ma'am. Recently, we have also started being available during exam times. That is, we are available 24/7 rotation, so that if any student who is feeling low during exams at night, they can just call us and we can help them during that crisis time. Then this is the student support structure that I was talking. We feel that all stakeholders play a equally important role. We believe that counseling will help the student with one part of it, but if there is some academic concern, we really need to reach out to the faculty advisor and help the student to reach out to faculty advisor and faculty, because we feel that students have a lot of inhibitions. But once they meet the faculty or faculty advisor, it really changes their perception about the faculties and how they can be helpful. So that is there. Then, it can be department office or HOD. So wherever it is required, we help the student to reach out to appropriate student support structure and get help. So on the right, if you can see, we have the people from academic section, and on the left, if you can see, we have then hall manager, security, gender cell. So if there is any such issue, then we also have gender cell. So there also we try to be a bridge between the gender cell and counselor and students, so that they can comfortably express and take right help from the gender cell, and at the same time the emotional trauma that they are going through. So we are there to support that part. Then IIT hospital mentors, like I said, mentors play a very important role. They become a bridge for us between the mentors and other support structure. And then student wellness center is there. So this is a snapshot of what we have done, especially during pandemic from March 2020 to 2021. So as the lockdown started, first thing we went online for counseling. Then outreach was started because we felt that students are at home and that is a different environment. Classes are happening online. It is going to be difficult for them to adapt to this new normal. So then we immediately, with mentors, we made different videos and we started sharing them with different channels so that at least they can get right help. We know many things are available on internet, but if they are not such rightly, or we don't know whether those information is going to be appropriate for the student problem or not. So we always have tried to be more specific to the concerns of IITB students, and accordingly we try to provide help. Then a self-help website was started during that time. Then campus reboot, once the students started coming in, so we played a role in assessing the student at a mental stability level, and how once they are back to campus, how we can help them to get settled, because quarantine was there. Then very less people were there in the hostel, so feeling of loneliness and all that. So we help the students to deal with that. Then we were doing psychometric assessment offline, but we felt this is the time that we need to take it online. So then we shifted from offline to complete online psychometric assessment. Then, like ma'am said, we general mental health survey was there, but then we customized it for the COVID thing, because there were many changes during the COVID time. So all those changes were done, and the general mental health survey was run again. And students who came in red zone, we helped them, we reach out to them. Then if you see during this 1 year, although the number has gone up now, we had seen around 310 students there, from which 93 were closed cases. Then successful crisis intervention was 34. Cases referred from families were 25, faculties 21, mentors 20, hospital 42. So here you see, like I've been speaking, that various stakeholders come together and we try to help students. Then online assessment was done. If you see, this is a breakup of how many UG students, PhD, PG, DD have come to us. So around 123 UGs were there, 97 PGs were there, PhDs were there, 61 PGs were there, and DD 25, and other were 4 were from other categories. And if you see that we have tried to break up what kind of concerns students have. So around 45% had emotional concerns, 16% had clinical, 15 had academic, and another 15% required medical intervention. It was like they need psychiatric intervention first, and then counseling would help. And some 2% were beyond counseling, where we had to take help from dean and everything to handle those cases. So we have also tried to give the breakup. Around 28% are mild cases, 43 are moderate, and 29 are severe. So this is just breakup of 1 year that we have done. Every year now we are releasing this pamphlet kind of thing, which is called Impact, where we are trying to share what is done by Student Wellness Center during one period. So Anjali, would you like to share something more?
Yes, thank you, Hima ma'am, and a very happy World Mental Health Day to all of you. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I think we have we've just managed to summarize some of the work that we have been doing over the years. And what I would like to highlight would be some of the World Mental Health Day events that we have been doing over the previous years. One of them was a street play, because we wanted to increase our outreach to students. So this was done by the core counseling team as well as members of the positive mental health vertical. And this was done at various venues in the IITB campus. And invited a crowd of students, because we really wanted to go in the midst of the students and do a grassroots kind of outreach. The theme of this was Let's Talk. Then the next year we did a walkathon, which was about awareness of substance abuse. And the year after that, that is 2019, we also did, close to the World Mental Health Day, we did an event called Life at IITB. This was an orientation program for the first year UG students and open to everyone else. And this was a live event, chiefly a stage event, in which we showcased the issues faced by first year students and try to bring expert advice as well as experiences of alumni and other experiential modes in order for students to feel more at home. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, we have been unable to continue these live in-person events, but we have been trying to continue our outreach through our YouTube channel and other activities that have just been described by Hima ma'am and Tagare ma'am. So I'd like to thank you all for your patience, and we hope that this has given you a good overview of what all activities IIT Bombay has been doing in terms of student wellness. Thank you.
Thank you, IIT Bombay, for the informative presentation. Now, I would like to invite the representatives of the Board for Student Welfare, IIT Delhi, to talk about their wellness structure.
Hello, am I audible? Hello?
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, just a minute. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. We are the board for student welfare from IIT Delhi. So the board for student welfare basically identifies issues faced by the student community related to academics, social life, mental health, career, and addresses them through welfare activities. The BSW also provides financial assistance and any other assistance in kind to the students in need as per the rules decided by the BSW from time to time. So I'll briefly discuss about the organization structure. So we at the apex we have the president, who is Professor Kira. Under her we have the vice president, Professor Ingole, and the student body consists of the general secretary, the BSW general secretary, and under that we have two verticals. One is the mentorship, and second is the operations. So we have the deputy general secretary coordinating the two verticals, and under the so the coordinators and the secretary, so the four coordinators and the four secretaries work in collaboration so as to run the functioning smoothly. And every year we select we select around 200 to 250 mentors for the incoming freshers, so as to help them adjust to this new environment, provide them assistance and guidance in any form they require, and to help them to make independent decisions for make them comfortable to make independent decisions for themselves. Then under the secretaries we have 26 representatives who help us in organizing various events and any other work that come ahead in our initiatives. So this is the general organization structure. So we have three main verticals in our in the board for student welfare. One is the mentorship, second is the operations, and third is the counseling. So so in the coming slides we'll be discussing on each of the verticals briefly. So under mentorship, we basically have four initiatives that helps the student community with various issues and various other opportunities they might have access to. So the first mentorship initiative is the mental health. So under that we have three divisions. One is the mental health awareness, second is the reach out, and third is the support. So we've recently conducted Ask Me Anything session with a psychologist and a professor of a university where various questions from the students were collected, and we conducted an Instagram live session so as to address the general mindfulness questions the students may have. We also circulated a questionnaire so as to understand what are the general problems faced by the student community online, as well as who online, as also for the students who onboarded the campus. And on the occasion of Mental Health Day, so we have a happiness. We've created this happiness board in our campus where students can come and post their post notes so as to mention what are the things they're happy for and what are the things they're grateful for, irrespective of what irrespective of what the negative situations we are in. We should be grateful for what all the things we actually have right now. So as to promote that. And we've also collaborated with SPIF Institute, so for the gatekeeper training. So that would be specifically for suicide prevention and helping our student mentors to be gatekeepers so as to prevent suicides and to help the student community to basically bridge the gap between the counseling services and the student community. In the reach out, we'll be starting the student counseling services mini counseling sessions at the start of the semester. We've also launched a counseling services website recently so as to book the appointments online, also to help your friend. So you could fill a form for your friend, and your identity would be not revealed to your friend, so as to help your friend in need. And we also have provided the functionality of giving feedback to to the counselors. So this has received a lot of positive feedback from the students, so as to have a 24/7 just 7 services, so as to get in touch with the counseling services. And in the support, we will be starting support groups, so that people come forward and discuss their issues and give views in a very non-judgmental way, so as to ensure the confidentiality. And we will be ensuring that each of the member of the support group will be signing a non-disclosure agreement, so that the information stays within the group, and the identity is not compromised of that particular individual. And we've also conducted various workshop and webinars with professionals. So last month we conducted a suicide prevention workshop, which received a great positive response. And today also we have a workshop planned in the evening as art therapy. So we've got a huge response for that. So we're looking forward to have much more workshops in the future. And we'll be also starting interview series of different professionals of different professionals, so that so as to destigmatize the mental health. And under the mental health counseling, we've collaborated with from past 3 years. We have the collaboration with Your Dost. So the student community can access the services at any point of time. They can reach out to the counseling services as well. And we have the mental health website where there are different resources which we put up for the students to access, and for different challenges they could refer to that and use that. So, and also one thing I would like to highlight is that we're also focusing on we'll also be creating a self-help psychometric analysis test, and provide them different resources, so as to help them at an individual level. So this is regarding the mental health mentorship and counseling. Yeah, so Hani would take ahead from here.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. I am Suhani Jain, and I am the Alumni Mentorship Coordinator for both the student welfare at IIT Delhi. So under Alumni Mentorship, we aim to connect the students of IIT to the huge alumni base that our institute has. So it helps them to network and build lasting relationships with the alumni, and also gain valuable career guidance and just listen to the experiences of those who've been there before them. So under this initiative, we have a lot of initiatives under Alumni Mentorship as well. So these are some of the initiatives that we have planned for this year. We have already launched a career resources portal recently, which has a lot of career resources for internships, for placements, and then for foreign internships as well. So there are a lot of guidance and resources which have been collated from a diverse set, which has been shared with us, with our young alumni, as well as those who graduated like more than 5 years ago. One of our most anticipated initiatives for this year, for the semester, is the launch of one-on-one alumni mentors. So this is primarily targeted for sophomores. So everyone who signs up for this will be allotted an alumni mentor. Alumni and students can sign up for this program, and then they'll be paired up with each other. So then they patients with these mentors. Finally, we have an interactive series and episodes thing on YouTube. So that is like a very informal chit chat sessions, which are recorded and then posted on YouTube for the students to just have fun, just to watch and then enjoy, share relatable experiences, and then get guidances. So that is all for alumni mentorship. Rajeshwari, could we move to the next slide? We have language mentorship as well, because students, when they come to IIT Delhi, who are not as comfortable with English and Hindi, feel a little alienated, even in friends. And then since the medium of instruction is primarily English, so that is also one major problem that is faced by freshers. To help with that, we have partnered with British Council, and this year we'll be helping more than 100-200 freshers to get comfortable speaking in English, understanding English. For languages other than Hindi and English, we have a language exchange buddies program, which will help students break barriers of language, and they'll be able to initiate conversations and build an inclusive community among the students. So next, yeah. Finally, we have the academic mentorship program. So this is also targeted for freshers. We hire 200 plus academic mentors every year from sophomores who are there to help freshers with their doubts in specific subjects. So for this, we have a discussion forum on Piazza, which the students can, the freshers can use to get their doubts clarified by the mentors as well as their peers. We have monthly revision sessions just before exams as well. And then every week we have sessions for every subject in the first year. Finally, because we need to incentivize the mentors to, give in their best and then try to help every fresher who asks them, who comes to them for help. So we have started with Best Academic Mentor Awards from this year. So these will be given on the basis of the feedback that the freshers provide. Over to Aditya.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so hi, I am Aditya Vimal. I am Secretary for Board for Student Welfare, and I'll be talking about the operations we do for Board for Student Welfare. So under operations, we majorly have freshers orientation, OAE, which is Office of Accessible Education, in which we provide different services and different utilities for the differently abled students. Then we have Scoops. Scoops is a students' cooperative society in which the students get all the necessary material required for their academic life. And then we have career counseling, which is the important part, because when the students come to IIT, they don't usually have the knowledge and even the courage to ask their seniors about the future opportunities in their fields. So we are building resources and we are providing them all the information regarding the future opportunities in their given field. Then also we have some formal and informal events. Next slide, ma'am. In freshers orientation, it starts from a director's message in which the parents and the students are made to sit in the seminar hall, and the directors along with the deans give them a message and give them a guidance how their 4 years should be, academic 4 years should be. And then we have a department orientation in which the head of department and the student mentors and the students of the given department bodies come and brief about the department to the parents and the students. Then we have a session with mentors in which this is a session only for the students, in which the mentors come and break, like they talk generally, they usually talk about what are they gonna have, like how their 4 lives at IIT will be. And then of course we have this registration process, which is all moderated by BSW. And after registration, the highlights of the freshers' life is evening games and tour of stalls. In evening games, we try to conduct more icebreaker events so that students coming to IIT who have been like who have not opened up with like a lot of people can open up here and can like just start talking to everyone. So last year we conducted this offline, but before that we used to conduct this in our main lecture hall complex. And after this evening games, we also used to take students for campus tour so that they are aware about the campus and they know where they can find the required resources. And then we have tour of stalls. Tour of stalls is the orientation of different boards and clubs to the freshers. Like all the boards of the IITD community are present here to tell about their boards and clubs respectively. So now talking about the formal events we conduct throughout the year. First event is Foreign Intern Ke Fun Day, which we conduct for sophomores, which is the highlight, which is the first event the BSW conducts and very important for sophomores. And then there is just DEPSI Ke Fun Day. DEPSI is department change. So usually this event is targeted to be done in the first month when the freshers arrive, so that they can be clear what all and how, like what all things they have to be done, which have to be done, and the CG requirement for different departments. Then we have Forex Ke Fun Day, foreign exchange program, which is again for sophomores. And this year we are also starting research Ke Fun Day. This will be targeting all the PG and PhD students. And then we also have female JE counseling. Under informal events, when the freshers arrive at college, we conduct a lot of camps. You can see a picture of a cycle camp. Then we have camps for all the necessary requirements in the hostel life. Then we conduct an event called Delhi Darshan, because usually people coming to IIT Delhi are not from Delhi. So we conduct this event so that they can see the different places, and they can also, this is also a good icebreaker event when the people start building a good relationship. And then we have a student teacher interactive dinner, which is also called stick dinner, in which the students and teachers come and sit to have a proper dinner, and they usually talk about, and the students are also free to talk about the course load, and they also have fun activities. Some teachers also sing together, they might even dance together. So this is a very positive step towards the whole well-being. Yeah. Now, the highlight of our the operations is Speranza, which is our annual youth festival, in which over 10 to 15 non-competitive and competitive events are conducted, so that the whole student of IIT community, it's open for all the students across, like from UG to PG and even PhDs. So we conduct band night, comedy night, Jeopardy. Jeopardy is a sports competition. Like all the events which can help students to just be free, because we are conducting this event just after our minors. We have three papers, a minor 1, minor 2. So we conduct this event just after our minors, so that they can feel free and they can be relieved from the stress of the examination. And we have magic shows, and we also conduct prom nights. Next one. So I'll be telling you about the events we have done till now in this tenure. So we just conducted Foreign Intern Ke Fun Day, which was conducted for sophomores, which saw a participation of 500 plus sophomores. And then we also, just as Rajeshwari said, we conducted a suicide prevention workshop last month. And then like a lot of guards and sweepers lost their jobs. So we we raised funds for them. And then we brought out a series called Intern Diaries. This series was basically focused on, like, people start feeling that they are alone in the intern times. Like there is this small jealousy from others, and so we were targeting all these issues, such as feeling low when someone else got intern and we didn't got intern. So we were just normalizing that it's okay to not to have an intern on day one, and it's okay to not to have an intern at all from the campus. So we just wanted to, like, those students should not take pressure about this thing. And then we also have this Alumni Sense series, in which we contact the alumni and ask them to answer the questions asked by the student community. And then we record the session and post it on our BSW YouTube channel. And also we conducted regular counseling workshops on mental health topics. And we also conducted a lot of workshops with the Shrestha Club for the spiritual workshops, and also your those for personality building workshops. So I want Rajeshwari ma'am to say something.
Yeah. Thank you, Suhani and Aditya. So I'll just briefly summarize the events which I've done, and also the past events which we have done last year. So we also conducted open mic session, so that people come together, the student community come together and have this session online, so as to interact. And also we've also conducted a letter to emotions, so as to speak on our emotions and share. The day was all about self-love and embracing all the love one has within. And we had a dance and movement theory. It was a workshop that was conducted offline, so that people come together and they forget. Basically, it was just a reminder that life is daunting, and then you have to take care of each other. And so this session focused on people unwinding and de-stressing. So there have been a lot of events which we have planned for this year as well, and we hope that if any of our events could be implemented in any other way as well. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, IIT Delhi. We got clear insights on board for student welfare thanks to your presentation. Now we have the representatives of Saathi Counselling Service of IIT Guwahati talking about their plan.
Yes, hello everyone. A very warm afternoon to one and all of you. This is Sushri Sashwati, the Joint Secretary of Saathi Counselling Service at IIT Guwahati, and I'm humbly honored to have been given an opportunity to talk a few words about my club, what we do, and also my camera is not functioning well. So if you see me blinking on your screen, so just please bear with me.
You're visible, clearly visible.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Can you see the slides?
Yes.
Just a minute. Okay. So, good afternoon, one and all, once again. And these are the topics that I'll be briefly discussing about, like who we are, what are we here for, what is mental well-being, and why is it so important? What makes us so reliable on our half, what comprises our team, and how you can access us. I'll keep it short and insightful, and I'll try my best to keep it upbeat at the same time. So wish me luck. So, our greatest time and again, we constantly belittle ourselves based on other people's success. We disregard our own efforts and dwell in constant criticism of the self. Such emotions are heightened, especially when we are far away from our home, among peers of the same age group who are indulging in a cutthroat competition. It is not queer to feel agitated under such circumstances. So this is where we here at Saathi come to your rescue. We have a resolute team of experts with years of experience in the field to guide you through and help you develop a sense of self-approval first. Moving on, what is wellness? Why is mental well-being so important today? And what is the buzz all about? We live in a society where the majority of the population is still unaware of the importance of mental well-being and considered depression as a facade. It is high time now, with the alarming increase in the rate of suicides, to consider mental well-being, if not more, then as important as one's physical well-being. A healthy mind can make you, but also an unhealthy one can easily break you. Happiness is nothing but a state of mind, and not paying much attention to your mental needs as much as your physical needs may never help you fill the void in your life, no matter whichever peaks you have conquered. Moving on. In Saathi, our sole mission is to let you know that you're not alone in this. There may be times when you feel like you have no one to talk to or no one to reckon to. This here is what we are for, to let you know that the members of the club and our professional counselors are one big family and are always here to lend you a helping hand, to help you deal with the problems and emerge victorious. Our sole vision is to make the needy seek help without any hesitation. Our first goal is to help people overcome the hesitation that they might need any assistance. On my part, there's nothing more courageous than admitting that you need help in the first place. Just a minute. Just a minute. I'm so sorry for the delay. So I will resume. Our sole vision is to make the needy seek help without any hesitation. Our first goal is to help people overcome the hesitation that they might need any assistance. There's nothing more courageous than admitting that you need help in the first place, and then is to seek help from the right place. We are here to guide you through and connect you to the right professionals. Yes.
Oh, just such.
Is there any questions? Okay. We often prioritize a busy schedule and hope that all that uneasiness or the restlessness that we feel will just miraculously fade away with time. But it is sometimes easier to face the devil than just let things slip out of control and face severe repercussions of the things that you could have easily mended later. So here are some of the past events that has been conducted by Saathi to keep the campus janta constantly engaged. This is the talk by Sir Mark. And here is the Children's Day celebration where we invited children from a nearby orphanage. We shared some very beautiful moments with them. We gave them gifts and all the study supplies. It was a wonderful time. We often visit the nearby old age home during special occasions like Diwali and such, so that they do not feel the void of their loved ones in their life. And one of my favorites is movie screening, where after hectic classes till 5, we all gather around and there's a movie screening, which is very joyous and everyone gets engaged in one another. Few movies were Chichore and Perks of Being a Wallflower that was screened. And these are the upcoming plan of action for some of the for upcoming years. First being the ice-breaking session, where it is a very informal setup where the students get directly interact with the counselors, not as counselors, but as their friends. We sing, we dance, we even ramp walk. So it's all very fun and joyous, so that just to make them familiar with the counselors. Next up, we have peer mentorship session, where the students of 3rd and 4th year are allotted mentorship to mentor the juniors of 1st and 2nd year rights, not just in academics, but they'll also tell you where you can repair your flat tires. So in academic, non-academic basis, and also if you feel homesick, they're the ones, they're your go-to person. Next, we have awareness on mental well-being, suicide prevention, and other such activities on campus. Time and again, we have been organizing peaceful candle marches and small talks where we engage all the campus janta in the activities of the club. We brainstorm the ideas. They give us suggestions, opinions on how we can better our club. Next, we have mandatory one-to-one interaction with the counselors for the first year rights. Here we present the first year rights with a set of questionnaire to screen their personality stress profiles, so that it is easy for the counselors to directly engage to them and take the counseling and take the further counseling. Then come movie screening, visiting old age home, open house sessions, where it is another informal setup where all the campus janda and whosoever is interested, the club members as well as the counselors, they all get together and put forth their opinion about the club and whatever they basically speak whatever is in their mind without any fear of judgment. Next up, we have life skill workshop. This is very essential as of now. And we are absolutely missing this in online times. During offline times, we used to have we used to play small games, engage in activities like yogas and self workshops. So it is all fun and games. We have our counselors, Dr. Nesmita Das, Namrata Naomi, Rakesh Kakati, and Pallavita Chaudhary. I agree that in these tough times, it is not enough whatever we do online, but for the past 2 to 3 months, we have tried our best, our level best, to give whatever it takes. We have assigned mentors to all the mentees, like everyone. And we are also keeping a check on the progress of the mentors and taking regular surveys to keep them in check. Recently, in the World Suicide Prevention Day, we have organized a talk which was delivered by Sir Nelson Moses. It was very insightful and helpful for many of my peers. We organized regular motivational newsletters by our Youth Dost counseling team. And also there are regular brainstorming session for the campus janta to pour in their ideas and not just the club members. Like what are your opinions about the betterment of the club? What else we can do? And so and so. There are certain students which even I have come across. They are very shy, or maybe they feel judged when it comes talking about counseling or seeking help from someone publicly. So for that, we have also conceived of floating online form so that anyone who desires to seek help can fill the form and personally go meet the counselor so that your name does not come out. And of course, we have a very strict confidentiality rule. No other soul gets to know about it. So here is the team. This is the secretary, Trinan Das, me, the joint secretary, Sushri Sashwati, and the other overall coordinator, mentorship head, mentorship coordinator, events head, and events coordinator. And another gentle reminder that you are enough. It is a very beautiful experience finding yourself, but it is also very frightful at the same time if you lose yourself. So that's that. And thank you so much. We would be happy to entertain your questions during the discussion hour. You can find us at facebook.com/saathi.counselingservice.iitg. And you can also contact us on various social media platforms. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shushri. We enjoyed learning about the diverse range of activities conducted by the Saathi team of IIT Guwahati. Now I call upon the representatives of Students' Welfare Body of IIT Kharagpur to speak a few words about their team structure.
Hello. Can you please confirm whether I am audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah, just give me 2 minutes. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Respected dignitaries present at the summit. Let me introduce myself. I am J. Potula Sindhu, General Secretary, Students' Welfare, Technology Students Gymkhana, Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur. Today, as we all are here to know about each other, let me give you all a basic overview of welfare and wellness bodies of IIT Kharagpur. So who are we? Students' Welfare is an official committee under Technology Students Gymkhana, Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur, which is committed to ensure the overall development of the students of IIT Kharagpur. Currently, 4 groups work under this committee: Student Welfare Group, Institute Wellness Group, AMBER, and Technology Environmental Society. This committee strives to be with those who need help and promises to sweat for the realization and solutions of issues faced by our fellow mates. We have these 4 groups which work in a properly focused manner, like the SWG for academic related welfare, IWG for mental wellness, and AMBER for making people aware and realize what LGBTQ community and work towards their welfare through various activities. And Technology Environmental Society is a society where students work for the welfare of our society through really inspiring and innovative ideas. We are officially under Gymkhana, but we are very much under Dean of Student Affairs of IIT Kharagpur. Let us have a glimpse of journey of the welfare portfolio in IIT Kharagpur. First, Students' Welfare Group, that is SWG, was established in 2011. And in later years, when the intake of the students increased along with the students from various streams and backgrounds, and also the problems faced by the students increased on campus, we were in need of a separate portfolio to look after the welfare of students, and this was established in 2017. And in the later year, Institute Wellness Group was established. Now, after all this journey of nearly a decade, the structure was finalized as of this. Here, the Students' Welfare Committee is under Technology Students Gymkhana, just like the Sports and Games, Social and Cultural and Technology Committee. We also have subcommittees under Student Welfare Committee, that is the academic help subcommittee, and community and crisis subcommittee, where different student bodies work in different domains, are categorized under these subcommittees. As we all are gathered here today, especially to get awareness about the welfare and wellness of students, I have the heads of both the student bodies who work towards the welfare and wellness of the students of IIT Kharagpur, that is the Student Welfare Group and the Institute Wellness Group. The basic structure of organization, that is the Student Welfare Group and the Institute Wellness Group, is like this. There are heads who are from third year, and the student members are from second year. Associate members are from first year. At each stage, there are teams like code team, tech team, design team, etc. Here are the people who come at the top of the hierarchy in students' welfare portfolio. That is General Secretary, Students' Welfare. These are the elected student representatives and office bearers of Technology Students Gymkhana, Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur. They are responsible for all the welfare-related activities on campus among students. Their main duty is to ensure the prosperity and peace of the student community at IIT Kharagpur. We have General Secretary Students Welfare for every hall of residence to closely monitor students at the hall level. Hall, I mean hostel in KGB, that is Kharagpur. The General Secretary is the most important and first person to make sure no crisis situation takes place, and we also have the standard operating procedure at different kinds of crisis situations. Now let us briefly look into the functioning of student bodies of IIT Kharagpur, who works for the welfare and wellness of the student community. We all know how important academics are in our lives. So let us have a glimpse of the functioning of Student Welfare Group of IIT Kharagpur. So who are we? Student Welfare Group helps students in improving their skills, personality, and provide resources necessary to succeed in college environment, as well as to pursue productive and satisfying lives by organizing different activities on campus. We organize various kinds of programs, that is mentorship program, that is student mentorship program and English mentorship program. We organize mentorship programs to guide students, especially the first years in their initial college life. And this year we have extended our mentorship program to the PG students under the Student Welfare Committee. And the other mentorship programs are taken care by the Student Welfare Group. We also release blogs related to campus placements and internships, and also conduct panel discussions related to academics, research, placements, and internships. Research involves foreign training, foreign exchange program, everything related to the academic stuff. And some of our initiative to make the student life hassle-free in campus are like our one-stop solution mobile app, and which is an app which guides especially the freshers who don't know much about the campus and don't know much about, and of course everybody on campus, through main events of their academic related stuff and also regarding the campus and everything. And the other is Know Your Department blog series, which helps students explore the department and departments where they would like to convert to during the department change at the end of their first year. And academic doubt sessions to help academically weak students cope up with their batchmates in various kinds of courses where we find there is a need of guidance to the students. And this is the team of Student Welfare Group for this academic session. We have 8 heads who looks after all the activities of Students Welfare Group. And coming to the mental well-being of the students, which is as important as academic welfare and plays really crucial role in students' life. Now let us have a glimpse of functioning of Institute Wellness Group of IIT Kharagpur. So what is Institute Wellness Group exactly? Institute Wellness Group is a group of students under Students Welfare Committee of Technology Students Gymkhana, IIT Kharagpur, which works for the mental health and well-being of the student community. So what exactly Institute Wellness Group do is, like Institute Wellness Group consists of trained students who enforce welfare activities among the student community. And they act as the primary nodes of mature student counseling. They organize awareness activities to support student community in handling their mental health. Some of the initiatives of Institute Wellness Group are podcast. Through podcasts, we bring insightful conversations on emotional and psychological aspects of the internships and placement process. And Mental Health Awareness Month. That is this month, October, a month-long event in October where relevant topics related to student mental health is discussed. And we also have dinner with chefs during our offline, but this was not happening due to the offline scenario which we are going through now. And this is like expression of our gratitude on behalf of the student community for the mess workers who feed us. And this is the team of Institute Wellness Group for this academic session. And some of our future plans are leverage the podcast domain to reach out to the KGP community and help their well-being, and surveying the wellness index of the KGP community and plan future events based on the analysis of survey. And recently, some of the students have been called back on campus. Therefore, special events are being planned for their sound stay on campus. And like we are going to have a properly channelized and focused towards the all the 4 groups under Students Welfare Committee work very focusedly on a universal goal, that is prosperous and peaceful campus life. So apart from these students' bodies, we have a counseling center on campus that was established in 2009 that consists of certified psychologists and psychiatrists to help out students throughout their stay on campus. They conduct various seminars and workshops to guide students. One of the flagship event of our counseling center is the Gatekeepers training, where counselors train all the students who ever attend the session to recognize when something is wrong or analyze the mental health of their mates. Our counselors also extended their services online due to the pandemic and giving their best in assisting students. We in Institute of Technology Kharagpur also collaborated with those counseling services and Access. Access is where it is a platform to get a proper organized and technical communicational skills which are required for our future career. And so finally, students of IIT Kharagpur will get to know about all these activities and the services and the student bodies, which I just said in my presentation just now, through the induction program that is at the very initial days of their life in campus. So I conclude my presentation by thanking each and every individual present at the summit, and thank you a lot.
Thank you, Sindhu, for describing the initiatives and composition of the Students' Welfare Group of IIT Kharagpur succinctly. Now, finally, I request the representatives of the Counselling Service of IIT Kanpur to talk about their team and their events.
I hope I'm audible right now.
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah, thank you so much, Anamika. So greetings everyone. I hope you all are doing well. I am Vasudha Rai, a member of Core Team Academics at Counselling Service IIT Kanpur, and I'm so grateful for being provided with this chance to speak about it. There's so much to tell, but I'll try my best to finish our presentation within 10 minutes. So Counselling Service IIT Kanpur is so glad to have this opportunity to interact with like-minded bodies at various IITs and to be able to showcase our own structure and functioning. Counseling service at ITK is pretty old and has become an inseparable part of the ITK community. Keeping in mind our mission of being a home away from home, our very deep, elaborate student body structure makes sure that each and every individual feels supported and connected to the counseling service. The structure ensures that not a single person in the community feels left out. We conduct various fun events and sessions with counselors and psychiatrists very frequently and actively to keep the community engaged. So without much further ado, we'll move on to the first point. So Arish. Okay. This slide very briefly elaborates what all are the pointers we try to touch upon. So the very first point is the orientation program. So we have a very rich orientation program, which we not only hold for the UG students, but also for the PG students and It's a very long, like it tends to be from it tends to be like a whole week where we have engaging activities, and we try to make a connect between the students so that, people from different areas just don't feel left out over here. We try to make sure that there's a connection, and through our activities, and we try to introduce them to the ITK community. We also provide emotional and academic assistance to students who might be needing it, who come to us, or we come to know that they are facing some kind of difficulties. We actively reach out to them, and even through our we also have on our Facebook page, we have things like people can anonymously write up to us, and we directly reach out to them and talk to them. We also have regular sessions and workshops with counselors and psychiatrists. We also provide certain amount of financial help to people who might be really needing it, and we do it to the best of our ability. We also have the de-addiction clinic, where we have visiting psychiatrists who come to help students, not only just about drug abuse or like alcohol and all, but also like things like internet overuse and all of that. So Arish, next slide. Okay, so this slide basically indicates our structure. So we this is kind of looks like a hierarchy, but hierarchy is just to maintain a system. But on and whole, like the whole community, we are just together, and ideas from every one of us are like greatly encouraged and all. So in hierarchy, we have head CS and top, which is who is a professor. We also have Dean of Student Affairs, who is ex-officio chairman. Under the head of counseling service, we have a student body and a professional body. So the professional body constitutes of our permanent counselors and visiting psychiatrists. Counselors are an integral part, and they are like 24/7 present during the exams, and even on normal days, you can just reach out to them anytime through mail, or just come to their office and talk to them. And like that's something it's like something very much welcoming. The student body constitutes of the UG team and the PG team. So the student body structure is like this. Arish. Okay. So on top we have the coordinators. In terms of the UG team, we have the coordinators who are fourth year students, the senior undergraduates. Then under the coordinators, we have the core team operations and the core team academics. Core team operations handles student guides, and core team academics handles academic mentors. So core team operations are the junior undergraduates, and student guides and academic mentors are the sophomores. So this is a very deep, elaborate structure just to make sure that each and every individual at the campus feels connected to the counseling service. So our structure is something like this. So Arish, keep on to that. So about the student body structure, lag over there. There's some lag. Okay, so under the student guide structure, what we have is the core team operations interviews and selects a group of a bunch of student guides, and each student guide is allotted 6 first year UG students. They are basically there to make sure that they are just to make sure that they are doing mentally good, and like basically a kind of, we try to build a family kind of a structure, because counseling service, our mission is to make sure that people feel that this place is a home away from home. So we kind of try to make a family kind of a structure. So even in our lingo, you can say we call them Amma and Bapu. So the student guides, each of the student guide has six freshers under them. And in the same way, the academic mentors are basically interviewed and selected by the core team academics. and academic mentors for each of the first year subjects. There are a bunch of academic mentors allotted. So suppose a first year student finds any kind of difficulty in any of the subject, they can reach to that particular academic mentor. And also at the same time, we also came up recently with a very new idea about the senior academic mentors. So as you can see, the academic mentors are so famous, but senior academic mentors could be the junior and the senior undergraduates. So basically, it's a voluntary kind of an activity where these we thought that why just to limit our academic help to just the first year students, but so we tried to create a very elaborate system where people voluntarily come up to become senior academic mentors. And suppose I have a difficulty in any of the third year courses, I might go and talk to my fourth year senior who might have who is a senior academic mentor and who might have done the same course, so that I could ask him or her for some help. So the next third point, Arish. Okay, so now we'll elaborate on the work of the core team academics. So we are a team of 11 members, and following is our work. So we conduct institute and hall level academic classes. So basically, these are conducted by the academic mentors. These are the classes. These are the classes which are held separate from the classes which are usually held by the professors, just in case we go and ask the students, the first year UG students, if they are facing any kind of difficulty in any particular topic, and we create a poll. If there is some common topic which is coming up, we conduct hall level academic classes for it. At the same time, we also conceptualize and organize sessions like computer learning classes and the technical terminology classes. So technical terminology classes are for those people who might be coming from not an English background. Not English background in terms of science. So they might have studied science in maybe Hindi or maybe Marathi. So they might not be familiar with terms like velocity and acceleration. So we conduct technical terminology classes for that. We also have the English communication classes where we teach where people come up who might be facing difficulty in English. So we help them to learn how to communicate in English. We also have sessions like intern Gyan and ESOSO. So basically, on and whole, as the academics team, make sure that everything related to academics, starting from the courses up to the internships, we try to cover all of the topics, and we try to make sure that people feel supported and connected, and their mental health is being taken care of. As we talked about earlier as well, the core team academics manages academic mentors and senior academic mentors as well. Especially, we work for the students who might be not doing very well in academics. So basically, the students who might be under warning or academic probation. Core team academics guide, that's called the guidance work. So core team academics guides them through it. And so each of the core team member is allotted one or two individual who are under academic probation or warning, so that that particular core team member is responsible for that student in terms of making sure that they are feeling mentally good, that making sure that they are doing and that their situation is improving academically, and providing all sorts of emotional help and support. Now we'll move on to the task of core team operations. So core team operations currently is a team of 10 members, and following is the work that they do. So they plan and conduct the orientation. So as I said, orientation is a very, very big and a very fun event that we have at IIT Kanpur. It's pretty huge, and it's just amazing. So it needs a lot of planning, and that is being done by the core team operations. Then core team operation also handles finance and creatives of the counseling service. We also conceptualize and organize the sessions like Last year we had Hakuna Matata. This year we are having Wabi Sabi. So, and also sessions like KYD, Know Your Department. So sessions like that, we organize it, we conceptualize it. Just like the core team academics handles academic mentors, core team operation handles the student guides, and in a similar way, core team academics, people from the core team academics as well are allotted 1 or 2 people who might not be doing very good at academics, are under warning academic probation, and that's called the guidance work, and they try to provide all kinds of academic and emotional support to them. Next, move on to the next slide. Okay, so this slide basically elaborates on all of the events that we have held this year up till now. So yeah. So first up, we have the Embracing Wellness. This was a month-long event with weeks which were dedicated to things like expressing gratitude, being mindful, meditation, and along with that, we had a lot of daily activities which we conducted. We had things like self-care bingos. We also gave people tasks of the day. We really tried to communicate a lot through our Facebook and Instagram pages. It was a lot of success. Then we come on to Wabi Sabi. So this is something we are conducting right now. So as we all know, today is Mental Health Day. So to commemorate that, we have a week-long event which we are conducting. We named it as Wabi Sabi. So just today, right now, we have a talk with psychiatrists, which is going on side by side this session. So we also in this whole week, we also conducted several fun activities, like we had a web hunt. We also screened a documentary which was focused on mental health, and we also invited the director of that documentary for a talk session. Throughout the week, we also released several blogs and posters which were related to various mental health aspects. Then we come on to Safarnama. So this was a series of interviews of graduating students, basically the senior undergraduates who were graduating this year. So just to know about their college life journey, and they were the students who might have, who had actually in their initial days when they were freshers, they might have faced certain kind of difficulties. So this Safarnama was to let the community know that how these people came out of their shell, came out of those problems with flying colors, so as to motivate the whole community. So next up, we had a comic series. So during the internship season specifically, we tried to make fun comic series of things like, including things like cartoons and all, to keep students motivated. We talked about internship through these cartoons and to keep students motivated. We also release monthly blogs on Medium. We have very regular and regular sessions with counselors and psychiatrists. Recently on 10th of September, we also had events for the Suicide Prevention Day. So that was a very brief summary of what all we did. We did a lot, but this is a very brief summary of what all we did this year. And yes, next slide. So, okay, that's all. I hope you enjoyed learning about what all we do. And thank you so much for being such patient listeners. And we hope that such meetings and interactions continue in future, so that all of us are able to learn from each other and grow together to create a very holistic community. And Counselling Service IIT Kanpur wishes you all a very happy Mental Health Day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, IIT Kanpur, for the very insightful presentation. Now we'll be opening up the floor for discussions. If any IIT wishes to ask specific questions to any other IITs or ask for more details about some activity conducted by them, please feel free to do so. We also encourage you to bring up any common issues faced by the students of your IIT or faced by you as an organization. We can engage in a discussion on this and arrive at valuable conclusions. In order to streamline the flow of discussions, we encourage you all to have a list of issues you wish to discuss ready.
Just before we begin, if we could again get everybody on camera, I think that would be great. Just to kind of make this more interactive, to put a voice to the face.
Yeah, and we'll be keeping this discussion phase brief because we know we have overshot the time limit a bit. So maybe Akshat, if you have any questions, you can start with that.
Right. So I actually had one question for the representatives from IIT Bombay. Ma'am, I really want to understand. I think if Madhumita ma'am is here, she will also probably step in, and anybody else who's from the counseling side. I would really like to understand as to whether how have you done anything specifically to make students more comfortable with the whole video counseling aspect of what you've been doing? Because one I understand is that a lot of people do not come from homes where they're very comfortable talking about their problems to counselors or professionals at that sense. And two is that it is very difficult to even get them to turn on cameras on generally. So I think it's very difficult that when you cannot see the person, it's very difficult to understand what they're going through. So I just wanted to understand if there's something specific that you are, making sure, or something that you're doing differently that we could all take home.
Yeah, first thing is, see, the students who were taking counseling from us, they wanted to continue, and because they were not on campus, that was the only option available. So when we schedule an appointment, we keep open whether they want to have a on-call video or any other format of way of counseling. So since we have given this option, and we have also given the option of when you will be comfortable, because like you said, people are around, so they might not be comfortable. So they have whatever time they are comfortable. We have been flexible with the timings and with the mode. And once you start the process of counseling, the trust you develop in the counselor and the process, then the medium and the way you are doing does not matter, because you trust that even if I talk on phone, whatever session would happen will help me than not taking a session. So I think that trust and bond goes a long way in the way this process happened. So initially, like we said, we were also a little bit hesitant that, how this will happen. But we started with the students who were taking counseling, and it went very smoothly. And by word of mouth, they have shared with other students also. And you will not believe, during this pandemic, we have more students approaching us. Now, if you will see, in week, we almost get around 10 to 12 students taking counseling, So that is a very huge number that we are getting. And we are also happy and surprised that, okay, we thought online would not be helpful, but it is helpful. Anjali and ma'am, if you want to add something to this.
I think you covered everything.
Right. Another question that I had again for IIT Bombay was, I was very thrilled by the whole psychometric system that you have in place. So if I can get a little more detail on what you're doing and how is it helping other admin wise.
Ma'am, you would like to answer that?
Yeah, I will answer this. Okay, so this is something which is a psychometric inventory, but it is not available in the market. And we have found that the students use the online psychometric assessments to self-assess themselves, which are really not correct. I mean, these self-assessment techniques are not good. Second, I think we at IIT Bombay also do not believe much in surveys being conducted by students for students, because these surveys are really not having any good form of reliability or validity. So this is one area where we, as far as possible, avoid students making surveys and students analyzing surveys. So keeping all this in mind, and probably a reasonably good experience of about 20-25 years of seeing so many batches right from 87 onwards, this thought came to us that we could make a tailor-made inventory for the IIT students, which includes the baggage that they carry right from preparing for JEE. I mean, these students are under pressure, I think, right from the 9th standard or 10th standard and 11th standards, probably staying away from home, from rural area to urban areas, and they kind of tutor themselves to come over here. So the pressures of the family, the coaching class, and then the added pressure that once you are in an IIT, the journey is over. It's very sad. The journey doesn't end over here. It's actually a beginning. And keeping all these points in view, the academic pressures and the hostel life, this inventory has been made and it is used for early intervention. So I hope this answers your question.
I would just like to mention over here, there are two kinds of assessment that are going on. One are standardized assessment.
Yes.
So when the psychiatrist or psychologist feels that, there are some underlying concerns which are deeper and which cannot be just, we can diagnose by just a talk or by the communication that is happening or by just body language. So then there is standardized assessment like MCMI, Rorschach is there, MMPI is done. So that is done by a psychometrician that we have at Student Wellness Center. And this is either done when the counselor or the psychologist feels that something is there, or even when the student has visited the hospital and the psychiatrist feels that, for prescribing medication, they would need more clear diagnosis, whether it is a particular disorder or it is just a situational phase. So during those times, this assessment are done. So they are done when the psychologist or the psychiatrist feel. And other, which ma'am talked, is a general mental health survey that we are running every year after the midterms are over to the entire batch of first year and the entire batch of second year. So where like ma'am said, it covers different aspects and there are different zones in that. And if the student falls in red zone in that student, then we reach out to them. So there are these two different things. One is for all these students and one is like few are only for the students whom we feel the assessment is required.
And also here, I'm happy to share that what we do for the first year students and the second year students, almost 95 to 96% of the students take the inventory. And we have students taking this very seriously. So we have a very good system actually in place as far as the counselors are concerned, the mentors are concerned, and our, reaching out to the first year, second year students to do this. And they have realized the importance of this.
Right. Thank you.
Welcome.
Hello, I'm audible?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I am Jai Kishan from IIT Guwahati. So I have an open question to all IITs. So I want to really know how has the interaction of the student community been with the wellness centers of or the respective campuses after the pandemic struck, because what we have seen in our campus is that there was a very good participation from the campus students during the events when we were having offline events, but we are somewhat struggling to bring in people and, to connect with them, with the normal people of the campus, not just people who are facing some issues. We are definitely taking extra steps to help them. But while if we conduct any kind of a talk or some other event, we are facing a sort of a gap to connect with them. So how has the situation been at other IITs? I would really love to know.
Before somebody answers this, I would like to excuse myself and thank the IIT Madras team for organizing this. Is it okay? Because I have something else. Yeah.
Yes,
so
sure.
I need to thank Professor Vasa and Professor Sunitra and the entire team of IIT Madras. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, Jai Kishan, I think I will start with IIT Madras at that with that question. Something that you said actually struck a chord with me as well, right? So, with regard to, before I go to the whole counseling and all of that, to give you an idea, because at Saathi, what we do majorly is events and initiatives towards wellness and well-being. One thing that I have majorly noticed was that we have had a bell curve kind of situation, right?
Okay.
So when on ground, when we used to do events, we saw close to 60, 70 students taking part at events at a thousand, at what, like 6,000 students house campus, 70 students, which is not a lot, to be honest. And then when we moved online and when we did our first initial couple of events last year, there was a sudden surge. There was a lot of participation. There was a lot of interaction with us because obviously, online was very new at that point and everybody was invested in doing this. As the online semesters progressed, we are in our third semester online right now, and the number again dropped. Right, so we recently did a couple of events with regards to, as Ishan mentioned, we did a couple of arts therapy-based sessions, and the numbers again dropped. We did not see enough participation for a couple of events. We did not see enough traction for the events that we expected. Now, initially we thought, okay, this is probably because of the kind of publicity that we're doing or the kind of work that is going into passing on information. But the major understanding for me out of this whole experience in the last 3-4 months, ever since I assumed as core, is that it is becoming increasingly difficult to get people to come and especially talk about wellness and self-care and take part in initiatives that center around these topics. Because one of the whole online, tiredness that my laptop gives me is just I'm done. So that is the mode that every student goes through, right? So and on top of that is the innumerable amount of initiatives that everybody is doing, right? With the surge of the online semester, another major downfall for us was that everybody in the second year and below is part of every other organization within the IIT Madras campus. And so everybody is going to only their respective events, right? So garnering a general audience itself has become difficult. So this has been my major observation with regards to IIT. With regards to counseling, I don't think I can speak for it. Is anybody from wellness? So, yeah, but I think I let the other IITs answer as well.
Yes, sure. We'd like to go on, please. Go on.
Yeah. So I think one thing that we have observed, I think, is already pointed out by Hima ma'am and also Tagare ma'am, is that we actually saw a surge in people coming to us especially for one-on-one counseling, but also a number of general issues were raised by students during the lockdown. And in fact, at the start of the pandemic, when we realized we would have to switch from offline mode to online mode, we had identified a list of issues that would be specific to the pandemic. And that was what we had listed when we had made our plan, and it was in a presentation also. So for example, there could be isolation because they are at home, they are away from their friends. There is career uncertainty. And there are also, concerns about family issues which are going to crop up because now they are in that space. So whatever activities we did from then onwards, especially the events, the online events, were tailor-made towards that. For example, some of our YouTube videos, and here I'd like to mention that in the chat box, I have pasted the link to our YouTube channel, Core Counselors IITB. So I'd request you all to check that out. So we have added certain topics which were specific, for example, adapting to the new normal, or career uncertainty in COVID times, or negotiating relationships with family members during a cramped space. So by tailor-making these concerns to the pandemic, we have been able to touch a chord with the students and bring in more participation. So that was helpful for us.
Okay. So can I go ahead with my other question?
I'm so sorry. I think Preeti ma'am from our wellness center is here. Ma'am, if you will. Okay, I think you can go ahead. I think she's just not in.
Okay, so I had one question for you, Akshat, especially. So in your presentation, and I think someone else, Ishan, gave you a presentation for IIT Madras. So one event struck me very unique. That was intra-city meet, something of that sort. Can you elaborate on how that happened? And you said that it happened directly under the Secretary General. So what happened in the event? Can you elaborate on that?
Sure. So the event itself was a manifesto point of our Secretary General, right? And we, along with another club within IIT Madras called Informals, we were the ones who put it together. The idea was to give freshers some sort of batch experience, right? Considering that they have had to onboard in an online semester and, experience the first few semesters of college online, which is not ideal at some level. So we wanted to give them some sort of experience where, they can meet their peers, just chat with them, just do fun things with them, just get to know each other better, just to give them a sense of community, right? So the idea was that a group of freshers from the same city or from, and like with regards to big cities from like same regions, right? They meet together at one point. And there is one mentor who's allotted to this, who's from the second year or third year. And what they do is that they're given a set of fun tasks to do at this public space, right? And while doing this task, what they do is that they bond with each other. That was the basic idea of what we wanted to do. So we formulated a database of students from different regions, and we first collected information on how many people would like to come. And based on that, we grouped them based on regions, and then these groups became competitive groups because we said whoever does maximum number of tasks in limited time gets a reward. So more people, we had a surge after that. Once we announced the reward, we saw a surge, and then students participated, and I think the program itself was a huge success. That was the phase one. We are obviously going to do another phase of this for the coming in batch. But the basic idea that worked really well for us there was the fact that we were able to bring in that connect that the online semester took away from people, right? Okay. People could connect, people could feed off each other, and I know of a lot of those groups that stayed on to do just be friends with each other. So yeah.
Okay. So, but did this involve traveling of students? Because you said different people from different in a similar region.
Yeah. So, see, with regards to big cities, at least, I'm going to give you an example. Let's take Chennai for that matter of fact. Okay. People from the south of Chennai, right? All of them met at like one public space.
Okay.
Right. So it's like very minimal travel within their respective regions. Right.
Okay. Right.
We made sure that nobody had to travel for more than an hour, because if anybody has to travel for more than an hour, given how Delhi and Bombay works, and Bangalore more specifically, we just had people who could travel, an area where people could travel within an hour, meet, finish off this, do these tasks for over a couple of hours, then go back. We also had the whole safety measures in place. That is why these mentors were allotted. One is to ensure that people are always socially distant at to some level, and they're wearing masks, and there's available sanitizers, there's available medical help, and so that's why we needed a senior in there. So yeah, that's what
All right. Okay. Thank you. So one last question. Hima ma'am, hello. You're from IIT Bombay, right?
Yes.
So I understand that you are one of the counselors over there, but I am very curious to know how the student team, like all of our IITs have a student team. I'm sure the student team exists in Bombay. So I am very curious as to what work do they do in connecting the students, because most of the presentation was given by you and other senior counselors. So I am very interested to know what work do they do.
Yeah.
Even before Hima ma'am answers this, could I just butt in for a little bit?
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
See, I think the chief reason why we gave a presentation from because Hima ma'am being the in charge of the Student Wellness Center represented us, was that because being World Mental Health Day, we were very focused upon the focus being on mental health, and therefore highlighting the mental health related activities, which would definitely be first core counseling and other things, for example, psychometric assessments and positive mental health, which revolve around that. and the other mentorship and the other parts of the student support structure which fall under the Gymkhana activities under the Office of the Dean Student Affairs, they would be considered peripheral to mental health because they are not at the core of mental health. So this is something that I'm glad that I got an opportunity to raise also, because this was our chief motivator for joining today's summit. I'm sorry I butted in, but I felt strongly about this.
No issues, ma'am. No issues.
Thank you.
Yeah. In fact, even I asked that we were thinking it's a mental health day and all the mental health professionals would be here and talking about, how the center is working and what they are doing to help students. Because during pandemic, like all of you mentioned, it has become very difficult for the student to adjust to the situation and online classes. So that is why we just spoke about what does our center do, how we are trying to help students during pandemic, because that is what we thought, that is what we are going to talk today. And otherwise, we have many student bodies who are doing exactly the same kind of work that all of you are doing. We have ISMP team, we have ISCP team, we have Saathi who takes care about LGBT community. We have Insight who has different, articles and other things. So we have various different bodies, and it would have taken a lot of time if, they would have come and talked over here. And we never thought, that is the today's session all about. We thought it is about the Student Wellness Center, what we are doing and how we are helping students. So that is the reason. And we very closely work with the mentors because we feel they are the bridge. We have like mentors for the first year, and we have mentors for the second and third year also, like you said, the DAM mentors. And again, they have various programs for students like orientation, games, other events. They take them around the campus, and we have British Council over here. We have different classes for the students who require help. Then we have, I think, DAM mentor who reach out before exam, after exam. So all those, even the secretaries are there. So we also have all this community, student bodies who do different work. Anything else, Anjali, that you would like to add?
No, I think, ma'am, chiefly, I think the student representatives are very large in number. Like you've just summed up, the mentors are there, the heads of various student clubs are there, Saathi is there, then the general secretaries of various activities are there. So I think if somebody wants to check out, they can check out the Gymkhana IITB pages, and that will give them a very detailed outline of the different activities.
Sorry, but due to time constraints, we'll take in one last question.
I just wanted to ask Akshat one question. Akshat, you said that you were conducting the city meets, intra-city meets.
Yes.
So don't you think there will be restriction? There will be some students which were not they cannot travel due to some restrictions and things. So don't you think they will feel miss out? They are missing out something huge.
Right. So this was our major concern when we ideated the event itself. We said, apart from this, another thing that struck a chord with us was we have a specific student base that comes from rural areas, right? And to bring them to these whole big city population is going to be a very difficult task, and more so than a task, a risk in times like this, right? So this was a major concern for us. But a thing that kept us going about this initiative was the fact that if we don't do anything like this, right, there is a huge vacuum that is created, right? And to give you more perspective, IIT Madras runs majorly on student-run initiatives, right? Be it our culture fest, our technological fest, and even initiatives within the college with regards to not just wellness but generally sporting and cultural initiatives are all run by student-run initiatives, right? And it's very difficult to get people to participate in these initiatives if people do not know of each other, right? If they do not have this sense of community, sense of connect, right? So that's what kept us going. So to answer your question about the whole missing out opportunity of it, what we are right now working on is also a phase 2 that, as I was saying, we are trying to take this whole intra-city meets to another level where we get entire the entire student population list. Now that things have relaxed a lot more across regions, we're getting the entire student population list and trying to see if we can somehow get everybody from even like rural areas to come together at some level and just have like minimal interaction with their respective peers. Because one thing that we definitely wanted to do was that give them a sense of college, right? Give them that college is real, because with the whole virtual sense of events happening, it becomes very difficult for students to often realize that college is a physical presence, right? So that was the basic idea behind it. So yeah.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry, I'm just going to ask one question and then we'll close. I actually had a question for IIT Delhi. I just wanted to understand the whole support group system that you have in place, and especially online, because I am someone who's been wanting to do that at IIT Madras, but I've been extremely skeptical because of the whole online semester. So I just want to understand how that's working.
Yeah, hello Akshat. So we do not have it right now. So we're planning it to initiate it next semester. So as an along, because right now we're shifting. So many of our students have onboarded the campus. So we are thinking of, by that time, if we have it offline, that would be much better. So we're currently in the ideation phase of that. But would love to have any either interventions if you would suggest.
Sure. I think we will meet separately and talk.
Sure. Yeah, I just have one question for IIT Bombay. So you mentioned about the psychometric assessment. So we were also in talks with our in-house counselors for this. So one issue which we think is that if you're saying it is for the self-help, and if IIT Bombay is segregating basis on the high risk, moderate risk, and low risk, how is the confidentiality maintained in that case then? Because we are accessing that information from the self-help data.
No, it's not from the self-help website.
Okay.
Or any other data. This is conducted through the student mentors, and it is done in privacy. So the website that is collecting this data will process it in confidentiality. It's another agency, and that shares the data only with the Student Wellness Center.
The self-help data?
It is not self-help data, ma'am.
Okay. That is separate.
This is an online questionnaire through which the data is collected. Then it is analyzed by professionals, and then the results, the statistics are shared with us. And then we contact the students in confidence.
Okay, so the students' consent is taken before that for this analysis.
It's a voluntary participation, but they are encouraged to participate in this.
Okay, I'm clear with that.
And this general mental health questionnaire, it has a basic simple questions which revolve around to the day-to-day living of the student. Like, if the placement is coming, are you stressed? Your sleep is affected. Are you happy with the department you are in? Because many students, they just want to enter IIT and they're not happy about the department. So some still feel upset about it. Some, manage to adjust and now they are happy. So the basic questions are asked which can create distress for the student, and it might affect his mental health and academic performance. So when they answer such simple questions, we come to know that, okay, this is the kind of distress the student has. And when the data comes, so suppose if we have 75 red zone students, so then they are divided by me and, given to the counselor. And then data is then only shared with that counselor, not the entire team. So suppose if I'm giving 10 students to Anjali. So when she requires, I share the data that, maybe the student has scored low on self-confidence, or maybe, adjustment is the issue. So that is done counselor based. So it is not that the entire team has the entire data. It is done very specific to the student and the counselor.
The answers to specific questions are rarely shared even with the counselors, because that is not necessary, because the statistical data gives us the information which zone the student is falling in. Further to that, once we initiate counseling with that student, then it is anyway a one-on-one counseling, so that data between the session data is kept confidential.
Yeah. So what is happening with the red zone student, even I would not know unless and then it requires intervention from other stakeholders. So then that is very confidential, So confidential is very like the most important thing that we follow.
I had a question if there's time for IIT Kanpur, if there's somebody to represent. About the de-addiction, sorry?
I'm so sorry. I think that will be the last question that we take today. I just want to say that. Yeah,
sure.
Please.
So if they could just throw a little light about the de-addiction clinic.
Ma'am, so it is basically, we have the visiting psychiatrists who are like very well specialized in this field. And we, while it was like during the offline semesters, we had this like in the auditorium, they used to have sessions, and then people could reach out to them personally and talk about it. So it was like a kind of a session and then a one-to-one session, kind of a one-to-one thing.
So it's in-house, that is. So all the de-addiction sessions take place in-house.
Yeah.
And the experts are also in-house.
So yeah, they visit the campus. Basically, they are not. They are visiting psychiatrists.
Yes, I'm visiting psychiatrists. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
This brings us to the end of this summit. I invite one of the Saathi co-hosts to deliver the vote of thanks.
So thanks a lot everyone for attending this session. I know we overshot it by quite a lot of amount of time, but the discussion session was really insightful, and I thank all of you to stick in patiently. And I believe that this session will generate a communication, a contact between all different wellness organizations, and we'll move towards a more pan IIT, more comprehensive approach towards wellness. And we are also looking forward to further collaborations or collective ideations upon it. So I take an opportunity to thank all of you for taking out time for this summit. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.